Hi, everybody. Welcome. We are so grateful, happy, and joyful to be here with you again, like always, right? Today we have Wednesday, April 24th. I almost made a mistake here because I didn't correct the date, but that's okay. So you are watching Cosmic Guardians with Anne and Corrine, and we will be live with you every week on Wednesdays, usually at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece. And of course, for the rest of the world, but we don't have the times. So today we are going to talk about step into your personal mastery. This is a great topic. I love that. And last week we talked about perception versus perspective. So good morning to you also, Corrine.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my beautiful new co-host. So happy to be with you.
Really looking forward to this. This is a part that touches my heart also.
Yes. Do you want to just recap short about last week?
Last week was really interesting because as I go forward into this week, it seems like everything is coming up where I go, oh, well, that's a different perspective. Oh, well, that's a different way of looking at it. And it's like I'm living what we spoke about last week. And I think that when you start becoming aware of these actual changes that are guiding you, it really opens up a whole new perspective in your entire life.
It does.
Yes.
It really does. And I think that it's like we talked about something that's going to bring us into something else, and it's continuing all the time, right?
And that is the flow and being in the flow. And I think the greatest thing you can do for yourself is learn not to resist what is being given to you. And there again, not form an idea that comes from your perception, from something else someone said, and looking at it with new eyes and looking at it as, wow, this can really open up new avenues for me.
It is. And my take on this path also is that sometimes we do complicate things because there are so many different things coming, but we can narrow it down to make it easy. It's not that hard as we sometimes think it is. Everything is coming from here, from within, right?
Yes.
So if everything starts, I just love something here. I'm going to state something that you said, and then we're going to listen to your beautiful poem if you would like to. So this is from Corrine, Personal Mastery. There is only one unique you. Set it free. I love that.
And that's very, very true. And that's what it's all about. It's not attaining something that someone says that it should look this way or it should not look this way, but finding what is our gift, what we are capable of. And
Yes, exactly.
okay,
Are you?
if you want me to do the poem, I am going to use my cheat sheet because I wrote this in 2007 after I spent a month in Peru. And I came back just saying, okay, I'm ready for the rest. And this is what came up. I am perfectly imperfect, a masterpiece in constant motion, awaiting another stroke of the brush, another note to be played, another thought to be added. In my imperfect stage, I am alive, watching the beauty unfold into the beginning. Each moment, the tapestry changes, bringing new colors, new sounds, new thoughts, and recreating them. The masterpiece is within me. I am the artist. I hold the brush. I am the conductor. I hold the baton. I am the writer. I hold the pen. I add the colors, the notes, the thoughts. It is my masterpiece, my symphony, my story. And it continues to expand into the universe. And I am a work of the divine art in progress. I am the creator. I am perfectly imperfect.
Oh, thank you. That's absolutely beautiful. And I think that gives the most wonderful message. We think we need to be perfect. We are already, because we are having some kind of a box where the perfect fits. But we are perfect.
And that is the thing that we have been carefully taught, that we were imperfect and we need to have perfect grades. We need to have a perfect look. We need to have a perfect personality. And that denies us from being what we really are. And this came to me this morning. Again, I'm going to read it because these things don't come from me. To attain being a personal master is not the denial of humanness, rather a celebration to enrich our human experience. By becoming our best authentic self, then we can be a service to others. Cannot pour tea from empty teapot. So the more we do with ourselves, the more we have to offer others.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Because if everything is coming from within, what we experience is also a reflection of our vibration. So, meaning that if we don't expand, we're going to remain to see and observe and perceive. Now I'm jumping back to last week's show, right? What we have been taught. So we need to come out. That's how we become masters. And for each and everything we are doing in this lifetime, right? On this journey, certain things are sometimes a huge challenge for people, like the part when we open up and become more sensitive, we're picking up a lot of things. That can feel extremely uncomfortable sometimes. But there is a time and a point when we feel like I have mastered that part, because it doesn't help to run away, right?
And learning how to navigate within these new energies. This is what it helps when you have somebody that can kind of guide you along and make it a little bit easier to learn how, when you say a certain word, how does that really affect people? Learning how to see yourself in a different light and allowing that to come forth, and working a lot with people that are very empathic and setting boundaries so you know when to be offering assistance and when to just let that person be, because that is their journey. And that's when you really become to tweak that ability to be discerning.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to see here while you're talking if I can find us being on. I'm going to find us later on. And it sounds very, very big. It is big, to becoming your own master.
It is. And wouldn't it be wonderful? And I'm hoping that the more couples that I work with that find themselves give the ability to their young children to do this at a very young age, and it becomes part of them, instead of having to recreate what we have been given lovingly from friends and family and society. And they all have their own agendas, their own ideas of how we should be, and
Yeah.
they impart them into us. And we kind of have to erase all that and let's start at the very beginning. You know?
Yes, and when we are thinking of hi Wanda, yes, I see you're going to join soon. Yes, because we usually approach and manage things from what we think we know, right? What we have been taught, our perception, our experience, our past, what we have learned up until a certain point. So becoming your master needs to be bold and to step outside of that, right? To try to see things from a different angle. What's your take on that?
Well, embracing both the positive and the negative of us. We can't live without one or the other. If you take the fragrance away from the plants, like they seem to be doing now, that plant loses its essence. So you don't want to distract. What you want to do is understand and expand. And the tools that we are given, learn how to use our gifts, because we all approach things so differently. And we can say the same thing and they come out in different words. But maybe those words affect that person and these words affect that person. So it's not destroying, it's just taking a side and using what is best for us to accomplish what we came to accomplish. So
Yes. And having the courage to explore, because that is exciting too. The
yes.
unknown, what we haven't encountered before, try out a different approach to something and a different response, maybe.
And that's where that discernment comes in. That's where learning how one word affects someone. For instance, if you see someone that's had a bad day, to go up and say, "Oh, you've had a bad day. That's so terrible. I feel so." Well, that's sympathy. But empathy is to say, "Wow, with everything that's going on in your life, you really have a handle on it." Ah, okay, I'm not down in the dumps anymore because I'm going to get through this, rather than everybody's feeling sorry for me, I'm going to feel sorry too. So it's just beautiful. It's amazing.
But how do you start off? What is a good first step? That's a good question, right? To start off, of course, that depends on where you come from, but how can one start
What I've
to
been
master? Sorry.
That's okay. What I've been finding is uh, there again, I have a lot of people that come every Tuesday for meditation. And I would say 91% of them are empaths. Learning to be still in that time with yourself and quieting. And then you begin to find what it is that intrigues you. And occasionally someone will call me up, like just recently, and this man had an experience he could not explain. And he said, and I know that I am supposed to be doing something different. I have I've been working very diligently for the past months on having a master. I hate to use the word training. They're giving me a different word, but an awareness and learning how to become that master. And I have several people that have been working with me for over 9 months. And it comes a lot in conversation. It comes a lot with just meeting and situations. And it's beautiful to see how they are beginning to master their own uniqueness.
Yeah, because it comes down to many things. And sometimes, when I talk to people also, many times there are loads of opinions. Someone may think that I have 50 values, right? And that kind of complicates things too, because when we narrow it down and when we really listen within, usually we come to the conclusion that all those values and opinions doesn't really come from me. They may not even resonate with me, right?
Correct.
So if we can just question ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, right? So it's just, is that something that I feel in alignment with? Is that resonating with me? Do I really believe that? Or is it something that I have been taught?
One of the things that I'm noticing a lot is when people say, "Oh, well, that's the way I believe," and I kind of gently suggest that perhaps when they get to the point where it is, "I know it," because you feel it inside. I know that this is right for me, not I believe it's right for me. There becomes a connection with your own trust in your own intuition. And this is what this is all about, is trusting all of that insight and intuition that your soul comes already ready with.
Yes.
We just have forgotten it and we've brushed it aside because there again, we're trying to fit into the norm of where we live, what our family believes, and so forth. And there was a song that came up a long time ago in a musical. I flip back to those. You have to be carefully taught. And talking about this society that says you can't talk to this society and you can't do this, but you have to be carefully taught. And when we start listening to what's really inside, those carefully taughts don't fit anymore. As you said, we have to find what fits with us.
Yeah. I have a good question that I usually, because you say another word, but I say stubborn.
I love stubborn.
You know, we have a tendency to label things also. So we have a tendency to label because we are taught that someone saying they're stubborn, that's negative, right? But you know, it's about how we channel and use the abilities and what we have, right? It can be actually very, very constructive and very, very good to be persistent. Let's change the word to something that,
Persistent,
yeah, to sounds more positive, because
tenacious.
it, yeah, tenacious. It makes you, no, I don't talk about, you know, being so persistent that you keep on continuing year and year along, right? But I mean not giving up, because if there is a way to find things and figure yourself out, that includes figuring yourself out. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are your motives? Do you have intentions? Are there something? Sometimes, you know, when we are wanting to do something, there's an underlying motive that we also need to question, maybe. But I also want to say something that many people do as well. They have very much patience with everybody else. But when it comes to treating ourselves, it's hard to find that sometimes for certain people, right? But it's equally important. So all that patience, love, acceptance you send out there, start to focusing that onto yourself as well, because you deserve it, and you're going to see it's a part of you mastering yourself, right? Because you are going to come into different vibration, and when you do, you attract different things and you're going to see things. Your perception, coming back to last week's show, see how everything is a chain here.
All together, yeah.
um So it's absolutely beautiful and wonderful, right? And if anyone has, I think I got myself out of what I really wanted to say. Yeah, I have something that I do say. So if someone says something, or I think that this is how this should be done, I always say, says who? Who says that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to question is the only way that you're going to move forward. To have a presence of stubbornness or tenacity, if you didn't, how would things get built? If you're building something and it falls apart, and then you say, oh, I don't have the patience for this. But then if you say, okay, I will see it to the end. And patience with yourself begins when you start loving yourself. And we are so carefully taught that to love ourselves is prideful and it's selfish, and that we should just pour all that to everyone else. Well, there again, old saying, cannot pour tea from empty teapot. You have to be creating love within yourself to be able to give it to someone. If I invited you to come over and have a party, and I had nothing to offer you because I hadn't prepared it, then we would both be sitting there looking at each other going, okay, now what do we do? So
Yeah.
you have to prepare yourself, and you have to keep building that within yourself. And it's beautiful. So
It is beautiful. Plus, like a side thing that comes along with self-love is that when you are stable in yourself and you feel confident with yourself, you don't take on so many things from others in a way that's going to be towards the negative side, right? For you, or blaming yourself or blaming someone else, or thinking that you're not good enough for things of that nature, right? So a stable person radiate that stability as well, right?
that's true. And your strength comes from within. It doesn't come from without. And part of mastering yourself allows you to be able to tap into that more readily. And it gives you, again, that stability that when you're bombarded with so many things, whether it's just financial or emotional or relationships, you're in that steady place. And it gives you, again, I love that word, a different perspective on how to handle things. And by doing that, it opens up new avenues. And it opens up new avenues for the other person also.
Yeah. So, like you say, self-awareness is a key here, right? Being aware of yourself.
Very much so. Very much so. And that's a hard thing to do, again, because we've been taught that we need to be moving forward. We need to get a job. We need to conquer this. We need to make a straight A's. And that doesn't give us a whole lot of time to daydream and figure out what we really are. But as you move into this, and each time that you make one little step in recognizing that, wow, this is coming from me, this is my strength, then that's the steps to mastery.
That's beautiful. And human beings like we are, right? We tend to think, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Okay, we have a question after that. So what do you say about that? How do we approach that thing, strengths and weaknesses?
There again, it's what we were taught to recognize as strength or recognize as a weakness. sometimes a person's strength isn't coming from staying in a job that's killing them. The strength comes from recognizing that they are destroying their own physical body, they're destroying their relationships, and the strength will begin to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I am going to make a change, even though it's scary. And a weakness may mean that another person's version is that you didn't stand up to someone and you're weak. But maybe in that particular situation, not having a confrontation is not a weakness, but it is a strength. So there again,
Yes.
that word keeps popping up, doesn't it? Good thing we did that last week.
Yes, it's all about perception and perspective.
Exactly.
So we have a question. I'm going to pop it up here so we can read it. It's from Rose.
Okay.
Laguana. Hi, Rose. And thank you for asking us questions. Can you see the question?
Sort of, kind of. How do you relate it to self-preservation there? Okay, that is a very good one. That's a good question. I'm going to let you start that off, and then give me a moment to get my thoughts together here.
Yeah, absolutely. So how to regulate self-preservation throughout the day when you're in an environment that constantly makes you battling against it. So first of all, it's not something that's a quick fix, right? It's more like a process. And you need to, first of all, don't let it bother you. And that sounds over the top simple, I know, but we need to kind of release the urge to step into something. Usually when we are battling something, if it's someone who says something directly to you, we tend to step into that battle with both feet, right? First thing. It doesn't mean that we are to lead people to say things towards us. Sometimes it's more subtle, right? So it's nothing we can point our fingers on, but we can feel it. It may be, I don't know how to say, both of them can be tricky in their own way, but it's about how we respond to it. And that is the process, right? So if that person that's treating you in a suspected way, you need to figure out, what is it that is triggered within me? What happens with me? That's your process. You don't need to reveal that, because sometimes when we have these things going on, it's not always the best approach. Practice the detachment, so to speak, then. Yes. But detachment also to a certain point, because sometimes we need actually to put our foot down. But I think the first approach, in my sense, would be, I'm not going to let it pass like that. I'm going to hear it or understand it or feel it, but I'm not going to focus on it, because that way I'm going to create more, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So your turn.
Interestingly enough, I would say at least 5 of the people that I'm working with, this is the main topic of their situation, that their workplace has changed dramatically, and having to navigate through these hostile environments. And as you said, taking it personally, that's a difficult thing to do. But when you are able to assume, and I don't want to use that word, when you are able to understand that that person is coming from their views and they think that they are doing what is correct in their mind, and it has a conflict with what we know, to allow them to just say what they have to say, and learn how to, um, there again, if we don't take it personally, we don't let that energy into our body. We just say, that's interesting, that's happening, and do what needs to be done in the workplace. Workplace is a tricky place.
Yeah.
Learning not to take these things home with you and regurgitate them, and constantly go over them. I should have this, we should have that, and everything else, and just say, well, that happened, and that's over there. And now I am going to find that peace within myself. And it takes a lot of working to be able to navigate around the workplace. And each one of the different people I'm speaking with is going through a life-changing things. Their whole essence is being attacked, who they are and how they perceive themselves from their job. It's scary. Then possibly when you look at the whole thing, you'll find, this is not working for me. I am open to the possibilities of other things, and then allow for amazing things to happen that aren't directly related to that. So
Yes. And it is a part of when something that is toxic in your workplace, when it's continuing, right? It's also a huge sign, as you said, that eventually we need to get out of there. Our problem in this world, and I don't like the word problem, but what we are challenged by is because we need to support ourselves, right? So people need to remain, that's how they often feel. But there's always a solution, and we need to see that solution. And in the meantime, actually the best approach to someone who is in any way being mean towards you or taking your energy or whatever, try to detach yourself, to remain in your own energy. In that way, you're going to become stronger, and you're going to see. And that includes, how can I say, your response towards it, because that is the power we always have. We can't make anyone else behave in a way that we want them to. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. But we can work on our response towards that, and that's going to help us maintain our sanity, right? Until we can move forward in any way or other. But never let anyone convince you that you're not perfect. No, that's a no-no, right?
Correct. And the things that you do for yourself when you're away from that environment, like meditation, like walking in nature, like just breathing in and breathing out. Simple things like, I breathe in joy, I release tension. I breathe in happiness, I release environments that are not good for me. The little things that you can do on the physical side of it that kind of move you there. But I just want to say to that person, you are the power, and you are the inspiration for yourself first, and you are the inspiration for others when they're ready to be inspired. And if they're not, then just go with the flow. And it's like going down the rapids. You kind of got to go like this for a while, and then you find a place where you can take a breath and be open to the possibilities that maybe the universe is kind of nudging you that you'll be okay if you're not in this particular situation. And that's one of the things that keeps us from mastery, is fear. That if I leave what I know, what will I do? And I've worked with two clients, and their whole entire world imploded from who they thought they were, who they thought the job was, what was expected of them, what was promised to them, their living situation, their health situation. And it just went. And I said, well, you did want to make a change. You know,
Yeah.
and the universe said, well, we just kind of got to get everything cleared out of the way so we can start all over. And it's, you know, it's not the funnest thing in the world, but it sure is wonderful when you get on the other side.
And I usually say something else as well, and this goes for many of us, and we're not supposed to judge ourselves for it because we are still souls having a human experience. And that means that we don't remember everything that we already know. We don't have access to it maybe each and every moment, right? So we are still humans. We are perfect. We do the best we can. And when we find ourselves in a situation where we feel, I don't really know what to do with this, there's no gain in trying to escape, because that's a tendency we have as well. So we try to slide through, like putting the blinds on and thinking that that's going to help the change. No, it's actually a better process to try to deal with it. Dealing with it doesn't mean that we grab the other person if there's another person involved, because sometimes it doesn't really help talking. If we tried that before, right? We can, of course, we can approach that way too, but if it's very difficult, it's not going to help. We need to find the strength within, and we need to just breathe, telling ourselves that, okay, this is how it is right now. What am I afraid of, right? Like you talked about fear. What am I afraid of? Do I sense or feel right now is stopping me? Because, maybe I sound like the over-the-top positive person, but there's always a solution. There's always a solution. And like you said, Corinne, because I do readings over the phone with people, tarot cards and angel cards and all of that good stuff. There's a card in the deck. No one likes that card. It's a tower. So everything is falling apart. And usually we come to that place when we have longed for a very long time. And don't judge yourselves now, right? Just see it, acknowledge it, awareness. For a very long time, and we try to slide through, and then each and every time it's coming back, it's getting a little bit harder and a little bit worse, because we are in some sort of resistance out of fear, right? So I think we need to figure out, why is there resistance, and why do I fear this? What's my fears about? And to be on the positive side, if other people could do it, why couldn't you? Why? There's nothing stopping you. Nothing. I promise. I don't promise anything, but now I promise nothing.
Well, I like to think when somebody tells you, well, there's a 90% chance that that is going to happen, and there's a 10% chance that it may be okay. Well, I'm going to be that 10%. I mean, there's nothing in the books that say I have to fall into the 90%. I'm going to go with the lowest number because hey, and there again, changing how you perceive what is happening to you is going to help you readjust to these things. And yes, you're being attacked. Yes, everything is happening. But if you're looking at it like, okay, this is the thunder and the lightning that it's going to take to make something happen, well, that's okay, because that gentle rain will start falling and then things will start growing, rather than, oh, what am I going to do about this? So there again, we are in control of how we see things, how we respond to things, and knowing that we can have the choice of of that really makes our life a whole lot easier.
Yes, and that means sometimes, it's not never actually on this journey. It's usually not a quick fix. It's not like I want an ice cream and I go buy an ice cream. That's not easy like that. It's a process. Give yourself time and allow yourself, even if you think that I've been in this situation for 5 years or 1 year or 10 years or whatever it is, there's always that possibility for change, but we need to do it. And sometimes that also means maybe taking help from someone. For some people, maybe that is going to be a professional psychologist or coach or anything. Coach, sorry, I said couch. And for also like Corinne and myself, right? Because there's a guidance that comes forward for all of us, and that comes from the universe. And we are perfect, all of us, and we are loved. And we're not supposed to suffer. We didn't come here to suffer, but we experience certain things so that we can bring up whatever is stopping us. And that may be from other lifetimes. It may be a belief we have or something we have been taught to keep as a value or something of that nature, right?
Correct. And becoming your true authentic self. Like you said, we can't go to the store and just, I'll take one of those. Your life and my life, I know we've had amazing things, terrible things, disheartening things, saddening things, scary things that have happened in our life. But that is what has honed who I am now. And even my divorce, and my ex will say he's sorry for the way it happened. I thank him, because had he not done that, I would never have been free to do what I really came here to do. So was not happy. It was hard. It was challenging. However, on the other side of it, what I am reaping is unbelievable. So it was worth the ground being torn asunder, and it was worth all the bumps and the bruises, because I now am doing what I really came here to do, and I am just so grateful. I really am.
Yeah. And you are stunning, like everybody else, right? Now I'm flirting with everyone here. But you are. And we are all a sum of our experiences up until this point, right now, when we are talking, right? So we wouldn't be who we are or think or trying to expand ourselves or trying to walk this path or discover things about ourselves if we hadn't encountered things. Because to be honest, as human beings, if everything would have been easy here. And I think that we didn't come here to punish ourselves. We came here because we know this environment can be now I'm diplomatic, fairly challenging. So there's a great deal of opportunities to expand because of it. Because if everything is flowing smoothly, why make the effort to figure yourself out?
That's true. And if I may, I'm getting a request from the higher dimensions. They would like to come in and add their little 2 bits to this, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay. This personal journey that you chose to partake upon is a gift to all humanity, a gift to yourself, but mostly a gift to all those that await your awakening. Know that within yourself lies the diamond that is becoming the facets that are going to be able to shine upon those that need them, the light that you are spreading without and within and above and around. For you are part of a whole that has come to bring this information and this excitement and this awareness. Know that within yourself, just by touching that one part, is going to explode into the greatness that you came to be. We, of all the nations, of all the creations, are so grateful that you chose this time to bring this information. The intuition that is given to you, the ability to listen, the ability to absorb all of the greatness that you are. These are the gifts that you will be sharing amongst all those that you come in contact with. You are always more than you ever thought. You are the divine guidance, the light that is the inspiration to those that wait. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry.
It's a high energy. It's a very
Very,
high.
very, very high energy. Yeah. Okay, I see you now.
You see me now. Good.
I see you.
That was powerful. That was very, very powerful. And thank you. Thank you so, so much. And you know, on the other side, when they are coming through from you as well, it's beautiful because they know, and we all know, deep down, we all know. I think our challenge is that when we come into this world, first of all, we come through the birth canal. I usually say that, and sometimes when we are transforming, you can feel in the same way. Fortunately, we don't remember when we step into this existence, right? Because
Right.
it can take a long time, and it's like pushing us and not very spacey. But I feel that we have chose to come here. We are here, and many on this path also feel that they have a mission. So the greatest thing one can do for oneself is actually to get to know you. We don't have that compass or map when we come in, right? So we come in and we're not alone. We have guidance. We have everyone with us. But because of how this world functions, many of us shuts it down until we can consciously choose to open it up again, right? So a few keep it from very early childhood and actually never close it, and that's fine too, right? But rarely anyone has all that information. But if you go within, that's how you're going to find it. That's how you're going to hear the answers, just like Kareem. That's so beautiful. Thank you. I get excited.
Well, I do too. They've been wanting to, when they want to talk, it's like, okay, but just wait until I'm in a place where I'm sitting down. It's like, you know, so.
And you know, I want to say also that we can all be successful as we label successful. But success, you know, if we ask 100 people, maybe success means something different for all of them, 100 different ways of being successful, right? So listen to yourself. When we are walking our own path, like you said before, Corrine, sometimes it's considered egoistical and self-centered to put yourself first. But that is exactly what we need to do. Actually, it's not selfish, because when we come into self-mastery in a higher vibration, that's what we are giving the world. And if enough of us come into higher vibrations, that's when it's going to be so contagious. It cannot be stopped, right?
Correct. And I liked when you were saying about trying to be something else. One of the things that I like to bring to people, if you look around and you see the diversity of nature, and you have a cactus that is right near a pine tree. Now, the cactus doesn't grow up saying, "Oh, well, I don't look like them, and I don't have pine needles," and and then the pine tree says, "I'm never going to be as prickly and strong as that one." They don't try to be the other. They try to be the best that they came to be, and finding your best is the important thing, because the one thing that you are is part of that puzzle that is needed. And if you deny yourself from being uniquely you, then you are denying the whole of the completed picture.
Yeah.
So be that best puzzle piece you can be. And,
I stumbled upon something funny, actually. When we go into deep questions and about the soul and things, because as human beings, we tend to be so used to ourselves, and we should be, because we are living with ourselves. It's a lifetime relationship, right?
oh, yes.
Yes. But we tend to think that my abilities, my strengths, what I know, that's not good enough. Look at what Karine has, or what someone else has, right? That's more fancy, right? But as you said, we are unique, all of us, and we have our own unique ability to manage things. It doesn't mean that if 100 people did manage something, a situation or a question or a circumstance or something in one way, because it maybe have fitted for all of them, 100 people, right? But maybe it doesn't fit for you. Maybe you need to find your own way of accomplishing things. Do it your way. That's how it's going to work for you.
Correct. And the beauty about, especially what we're doing, we are opening up the connection of thought for people. What we say might give them an ability to go and look into a different place. Maybe another person has something that fits. Nothing is concrete. We are just giving a perception, an idea, an inspiration, so people can take this and make it their own. And making it your own is the key. You don't want to
Yes.
be a copy of someone else.
No. No, you don't. A copycat, right?
Correct.
And I think that if we need it all to be the same, it would just fit to one person coming in here with everyone in, right? But we're not made that way, and we're all unique. And in my sense, we contain all of the existing energies, but in different ways. And that is what makes us unique and different from each other. And one cannot actually really progress without the other, right?
Well, for instance, this that I'm wearing today, if I only used one color, it wouldn't be as colorful and I would miss out on so much. So be yourself, be unique, be inspired. And that is what I was taught that I came here to do. I signed a contract, and I keep questioning it because there's some things on that contract that I'm going to have to renew, like the aches and the pains and so forth. However, finding what really brings you true passion, what motivates you, what brings that joy that you had, if you can remember when we were children, couldn't wait to wake up in the morning because you had to go finish playing in the mud pies, you had to go finish building that, you were going to see your friend. Have that anticipation. I don't care how far you climb on the ladder, and I'm climbing up there pretty good, but each day all I see is the excitement of what the next moment will be. And it certainly allows all the aches and pains to just go their own way because I'm too busy playing, and having fun.
Yes. And, we should actually, I think, to keep the inner child alive and being proud of it, I think that's important, because children, as you said, they wake up and they are eager to continue on their journey. They are eager to see things. They want to explore things. And the best part of everything, they don't have the experience of moving through life and hearing opinions and other people's ideas and values. So they didn't really adapt to that yet. They are on their way to adapting to it, but they are still open. And that's where we need to be, right?
And I have to warn you, I don't have an inner child. My inner child is on the outside. So
Mine too.
It doesn't stay confined. It's, it pretty much is there all the time. So,
and that's good. So, how do you feel, beautiful soul sister here? Is there anything you want to add?
I just want to add that the journey within is going to allow you a personal awareness and freedom that is it's beyond words. I couldn't begin to tell you. It's like when my son asked me what heaven was like, and I said, take something on earth that you love and multiply it by every star in every galaxy, and you might get a glimmer of what it's like. Well, take your potential and multiply it by every star in every galaxy, and you'll just get a glimmer of what it really is available to you.
Yes. And personal mastery is a personal journey. So it's a unique journey for each one of us, right? There is no one size fits all approach. Embrace the tools and strategies that resonates with you, because I think that this is also something when we are doing this live like this, we fill up for each other and we come with something because it's two different ways of saying the same thing. And I think we already talked about that, right? But it's helpful. So there are so many ways to say things and states, and sometimes all ways are going to resonate with one, or just one or two or three or five, right? And be patient with yourself. I also want to say, right? With dedication and persistence and patience and keeping a growth mindset, you can unlock your full potential and step into the powerful realm of personal mastery. And you can, like Louise Hayes said, you can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes. And there are also wonderful people that are out there that are dedicating their now existence to being able to hold that light for you. to be able to kind of help you navigate through this journey. And I am blessed that I have several people that are on this journey, and it's not a daily thing. I mean, it's not like taking a class. It's like enjoying the moments. And I've been working with some of these people for over 9 months, and their remarkable ability to step into this has just been phenomenal. So it's okay to seek out people that's what we came to do, because that's what I signed up for.
Yeah, that's good. You did. And, we need to, I love the word being stubborn, right? This is a time, when you think about expanding yourself, it's wonderful to be persistent, tenacious, right? Stubborn.
Absolutely.
Just keep on
Stubborn
pushing
work. That's
until
right.
you come through, because that's how we're going to come through. And sometimes I think that when we are starting off something, it can feel like we are climbing Himalaya, right? But that's just an illusion as well. So it's just to keep on moving forward, dig within, listen to yourself. And also, a lot of people talk about, I don't have that time to sit and meditate deeply. It's a very good thing to do that. But if you don't, if you have time with yourself, you close everything off, close your phone, don't listen to it. Do some things maybe in silence at home that you need to do, but be in your own energy with yourself. You're going to get information that way too. It's going to come to you. So sometimes we make it hard because we think that I need to structure, I need to do this, I need to do. Yes, we need to do certain things, but we can make it easy on ourselves as well. And we can also, another very simple thing, when we go to sleep, talk to your guides and angels, ascended masters, or whoever you want to talk to, divine source, right? Ask them, I am going to sleep now. Help me in my dreams. Help me to see something I need to see so I can dig deeper within me.
I would just add that learning to be mindful. I mean, just walking from your work to your car, change your mind that it's not going to be, I have to get to my car because I'm going home. Think about each step that you take and the breath that you take. Letting in, letting out, just quieting the mind, because when the mind is quiet, it doesn't have to be formally doing meditation or doing yoga or doing this. It's when it's quiet. And in those moments that you take, even doing the dishes, instead of rushing through the dishes, just slow and just methodically getting them done, but allowing yourself to just be in the moment. These are simple little things. You don't have to formally sit and wear certain things and say certain things. Just quieting the mind, and pretty soon these inspirations will just start, coming in.
It's just going to come, right?
They
That's
do.
beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
It is beautiful. So, do you feel ready? Anything more we want to add?
I feel that whatever is next to come is another show down the line, because this is going to be kind of an ongoing topic, and as people need a little bit more information to glean, and there again, take this information, make it yours, take what you want, throw away the rest, but use it as a building. It's not you have to this way or you have to that way, and that's the beauty of it. just let go and have fun.
Yes, it's fun too. It's very fun.
Yes.
Much fun. So, in that case, thank you, everybody. You have been watching Cosmic Guardians, and today we have been talking about step into your personal mastery. And I'm Anne, and my beautiful co host is Corinne Mooney. And you find the information for us on the video. It's going to pop up a little bit here and there. And you can find the group Cosmic Guardians at facebook.com/groups/Cosmic Guardians. And you can also now watch us on Facebook, of course, and on YouTube at Angel Place on Earth currently. We will be live with you every week on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Greece, 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece. And of course, different times around the globe. So we are so happy to spend our time with you. Our next live next week actually is going to be a pre-recorded video. We're going to be on, it's going to be broadcast Wednesday, I have the wrong information here. It's going to be, is it 3rd of May? I'm going to have a sneak peek here. My bad. It's going to be, 1st of May. 1st of May. Oh, wow. Happy new month and happy new continuing on this journey, right? 1st of May. That's kind of a nice day to have it on. We're going to talk about why do we resist living in the now? So it's kind of that chain again, continuing, moving into the next step. You ended with that. Brilliant of you, Corinne, right?
What can I say?
And yes, it's going to be pre-recorded, but we're still going to be able to text chat with you during the broadcasting. So we'll be on again. So keep your eyes open. And we are so thankful for your questions. Thank you for interacting with us and spending your time with us. And love, light, peace, and joy, and see you next week. Just going to see here.
Okay, all right.